YouTube, it's Zoe or Read by Zoe, and today I have another big book haul for all of you. I did try to put myself on a book buying ban, and I was good for like 2 weeks. But then I discovered new authors and May 2nd rolled around. This time of year, all of the great books are coming out. I tried, but I can't stop buying books, so I decided to do this book haul today before this pile of books that I bought got out of hand. So let's get started, shall we? The first book I have to share with you all was sent to me by Disney-Hyperion, and it is Kill All Happies by Rachel Cohn. This is also a paid promotion with Disney-Hyperion, so thank you so much for sending me the book and for sponsoring this video. This book follows recent high school graduate Vic Navarro, who decides to throw a graduation bash at Happies, a little kitschy restaurant that is a staple to their community, but it is going to declare bankruptcy. It's supposed to be a small party. It's only supposed to be the senior class, but soon people from all over start showing up to say goodbye to the restaurant, and they decide to visit the abandoned amusement park behind the restaurant. It says, suddenly what was a small graduation bash is more like Coachella on steroids with a side of razzmatazz pie. The night is so not going as planned, and maybe that's the best plan of all. It sounds like a really fun summery contemporary book, and you all know how much I love summery contemporary books. The only part of this that doesn't sound that cute is that they go to an abandoned amusement park. No, thank you. I am so paranoid. I am sure that that is haunted. I love this cover though. Oh, it's a little map. See, haunted. It says Clown Town. No, thank you. Nightmares! That picture is going to give me nightmares. Oh. And Ghost Cemetery, I told you. If you want to check this book out, I'm going to leave all the links down below in the description box. The next 3 books that I bought all go together, and they are the hardcover versions of the Hogwarts Library books with the new covers. They are so beautiful. Look at this. Just look at them together, and they're all shiny. We have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, or I guess if you want to be technical, J.K. Rowling, but I think Newt Scamander actually has his own Goodreads page. Quidditch Through the Ages by Kenilworthy Wisp, and The Tales of Beetle the Bard with Notes by Professor Albus Dumbledore. I wanted to buy these not only because they are super pretty, but I bought these so that I can read them this summer for my Harry Potter read-along. If you didn't know, I am planning on rereading all of Harry Potter, including these books and all of the extra little stories that J.K. Rowling has added to Pottermore between now and September 1st, 2017, which is the actual day that the epilogue takes place. I think it will add a lot to the experience. I also recently made a Goodreads group for this read-along, so if you want to check that out, I will leave that down below in the description box. Back to the book haul. The next book that I purchased was The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This follows 17-year-old Molly, who knows a lot about unrequited love. She has had 26 crushes that haven't gone anywhere. She's never had a boyfriend. Her twin sister Cassie gets a girlfriend who has a best friend named Will. He's super hipstery, and Molly gets a crush on him. But then she also gets another crush on her coworker Reed. So she has 2 crushes at once. She doesn't know what to do with herself. There's a lot of diversity. LGBTQ characters. Molly identifies as fat. She has 2 mothers, and I think her and her twin sister were sperm donor babies, and I think there's even more diversity too. I am so excited. It sounds so cute, and I definitely know all about unrequited love, so I think that I'm going to relate. The next book is Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. I already read this and I really enjoyed it. I purchased this because I saw the first episode of the new HBO series with Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman and Adam Scott, who plays Ben Wyatt in Parks and Recreation. He has like a full beard in that. It was very weird to see, but it was so good and dark and mysterious, so of course I had to pick up the book. I think I like the book even better. The book is set in Australia. I don't want to tell you too much about this book, but it is a murder mystery that surrounds parents who have children in kindergarten at this one elementary school. It follows the rivalries between the parents and also the interesting family dynamics. Also, trigger warnings for bullying and domestic abuse. Then I purchased 3 books by Victoria Schwab or V.E. Schwab. I purchased The Archived, Vicious, and A Darker Shade of Magic. I don't know why I purchased all three of these at once because I haven't read any of her books. I'm not sure if I'm going to like her writing style, but I have been watching all of her YouTube videos and I've been following her on Twitter for a while. I think she is so smart and so funny. I will be very surprised if I don't like her writing. I have had so many people recommend her books to me, so I'm guessing I'm going to love them. I'm also really into fantasy right now, which is kind of weird because usually around summertime people get more into contemporary. The Archived is a young adult novel, and I believe that A Darker Shade of Magic and Vicious are both adult novels. You can tell because she's Victoria Schwab in young adult and V.E. Schwab in adult. The Archived follows Mackenzie Bishop, who is a keeper. On the back it says, imagine a place where the dead rest on shelves like books. The dead are called histories, and the vast realm in which they rest is the archive. So Mackenzie is a keeper who is tasked with stopping the histories, or the dead people, who are often violent, from getting out of the archive. I don't know what happens if they get out of the archive, but I'm sure one of them gets out, and this is what the story follows. Vicious, one of the adult novels, follows two characters, Victor and Eli, who are best friends in college, and they decide in their senior year to figure out how to get superpowers. So they get superpowers, and then 10 years later, they hate each other. Eli, one of the characters, is trying to get rid of every other person with superpowers, so he is the supreme being. I've heard that these characters are morally gray. They aren't good and they aren't bad. It makes you think about if anything is truly good or bad, if anything is truly as it seems. And the last V.E. Schwab book is A Darker Shade of Magic, which I have heard people refer to as the adult Harry Potter, which is a very bold statement. I don't know whether to believe them. I don't know if anything can match Harry Potter, but it makes me very intrigued about this. This is the first book in a series, and in this there are multiple versions of London. There is Red London, Black London, White London, and Grey London, and the main character, Kel, can travel between these worlds. He's one of the last magicians who can do so, and he also smuggles things between worlds. He meets some person named Delilah, and there's magic. If people are actually comparing it to Harry Potter, I bet it's very good. Maybe I'll pick the series up after I finish my Harry Potter reread so that I won't fall into a reading slump, so that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Then I purchased a whole bunch of Anne of Green Gables. Anne of Green Gables was the Ostentatious book for April and May. If you don't know what Ostentatious is, it is a classics book club that I run. We read this book and I absolutely loved it, so I bought the rest of the series. Well, the first 6 books in these beautiful covers. I can't decide which one I like better. This is the Puffin and Bloom edition, and this one is the Source Books edition. So we have Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, Anne of the Island, Anne of Windy Poplars, Anne's House of Dreams, and Anne of Ingleside. I believe they also have the 7th and 8th book, but those don't follow Anne. I will leave the links for all of these books down below in the description box if you want to check them out. The next book that I purchased was Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I was seeing everybody haul the beautiful UK edition with the pretty blue pages, and I wanted the pretty blue pages, so I purchased the UK edition. But mine didn't come with the pretty blue pages. I'm pretty sure I purchased the wrong edition from Book Depository, but it still came with this beautiful cover. I don't know anything about the inside contents of this book. I don't know anything about the plot, and I don't want to know anything about this plot until I start reading it. The next 2 books that I purchased are sci-fi, which is very surprising for me because I read little to no sci-fi. The first book is Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is told in a really interesting style. It's told in different files, I think. Oh, and there are pictures, there are emails, there are interviews. Oh my goodness. It's so different and I love that. The next sci-fi book is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This was originally a radio show, which you can tell because of the way it was written. Sometimes it is just so nonsensical and bizarre in the best way. Next is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I used to have a hardcover version of this book that I purchased when I was living in London while studying abroad, but I unhauled it a couple of months ago when I was really into minimalizing my shelves. I obviously regretted that though, because because I repurchased it in the fancy new paperback version. In Rainbow Rowell's contemporary novel Fangirl, the main character Kath is super into this series named Simon Snow, which is kind of like Harry Potter, and she makes a fan fiction of Simon Snow called Carry On. So I don't know if this is supposed to be Kath's fan fiction or what. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot like Harry Potter. This is another book that I should read after I finish my reread of Harry Potter. So it's basically like I'm still reading Harry Potter. I can just continue to read books that are like Harry Potter for the rest of time. I then purchased Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I saw the movie with Andrew Garfield and Keira Knightley back in high school, and it was one of the best movies that I have ever seen. It made me sob so hard. Like, I was dehydrated after watching that movie. So I'm wondering if the book is better, if it's different, how they compare. It will also give me an excuse to rewatch the movie. I'm not going to tell you anything about this book because I went into the movie not knowing anything about it, and it was so good that way. I will tell you though that it's set in England. We then have Dhikrullah by Ashley Poston. This is a retelling of Cinderella, but the main character Elle is obviously a geek. She is super into this TV show called Starfield. I'm guessing it's like Star Trek. And the prince in this is supposed to star in the new revival of Starfield. And it all takes place at this convention, kind of like Comic-Con. Elle works on a food truck called the Magic Pumpkin. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be such a fun read. The next 4 books are the 4 books in the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. The first book is The Raven Boys. I already read this and I did an entire book review on it, which I will link down below. Just like Carry On, I used to own this and then I unhauled it when I was being dumb a few months ago. I instantly regretted it, so I purchased it again. I was only about halfway through this book when I decided to purchase the other 3 books in the series. I was loving it that much, so I purchased The Dream Thieves, Blue Lily, Lily Blue, this is my favorite cover, and The Raven King. This is the UK edition because the US paperback edition has not come out yet, and I wanted it in paperback. I just don't like hardcovers. It does not match the rest of the series though, so that's a little unfortunate. It is super glossy and also it's shorter, but it's okay. I've been forcing myself not to start The Dream Thieves yet because I know once I start, I won't be able to stop. I will read it within 1 day and then I will be sad because I rushed through it. I want this series to last forever. The next book is Always and Forever Lara Jean by Jenny Han, the 3rd book in the To All the Boys series. If you watched my 24-hour readathon vlog, you knew that I was desperately waiting for this book to show up on my doorstep. Amazon said it was going to show up on the day of its release, May 2nd, but it showed up on May 3rd. Oh my goodness, a day late. I know, I was enraged. But even though I was desperately waiting for it to show up, I haven't read it yet, and it's been weeks since it came out. I will get to this book soon though, maybe when I go to the beach one day. This would be the perfect book for the beach. It is such a lighthearted contemporary book. I can't wait to figure out who Lara Jean ends up with, huh? Also, it's purple. And the last book, drum roll please, Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the 2nd book in the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. The first book was Lady Midnight, and this book just came out on Tuesday, except I got mine a day early. Ha! Amazon was making up for that time they sent me Always and Forever Lara Jean a day late. It seems like everyone has already finished this book even though it just came out on Tuesday. I'm only about 50 pages into this book. I am taking my sweet time with it. I do not want it to end because the 3rd and final book in the series comes out 2 years from now, 2019. I purchased the audiobook on Audible as well to listen to while I am falling asleep or driving or whatnot, and it is read by James Marsters, Spike from Buffy. But the thing is, I did not know that he doesn't actually have an English accent. So when I started the audiobook, I was so thrown off. I was like, wait, I thought it was Spike. I'm so dumb, he's American! So those are all the books that I have recently purchased, even though I am telling myself that I am on a book buying ban. Yeah, I don't listen to myself. Let me know down below which book you think I should pick up first except Lord of Shadows because obviously I'm reading that right now. Also let me know if you knew that James Marsters was not actually English. You probably all did. I'm probably the only one who didn't know that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all soon in my next video. Bye!